What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. I hope you're ready to recap this week's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. We're taking it to Ireland, and I think some of the ladies may be getting lucky. Teresa has her pineapple ready for it, so I have the Brav Bros on standby, and we're about to dive in, so I hope you're ready for it. Let's go. Oh, hi, it's me, Zack Peter, pop culture junkie, reality TV insider, published author, and host of the No Filter with Zack Peter podcast. Here I'll bring you all the latest news on the Real Housewives, deep dives into celebrity legal scandals, and unfiltered combos with your favorite stars. I've got you covered, and yes, I always keep receipts. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest tea. Now, let's dive in. And we shall please welcome Steele and Shooter from the Brav Bros.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Hi, guys. We are in countdown mode to our live show in Philly, April 27th at City Winery. Guys, get your tickets. The last of the tickets available now at nofilterlive.com. We can't wait to see everybody.
Yeah, get your tickets. Quit waiting. I don't know what you're waiting for, but knock it off. Get your tickets.
I know. It's been a minute. Get your tickets now, guys. How are you guys feeling about this week's episode of Jersey? We finally have the rumor come out about Melissa and this guy, Nick, that she allegedly made out with in the backseat of a car that Margaret's friend, assistant, someone saw and then relayed to her. Thoughts?
Did you have a name? You say his name's Nick?
Nick. He's actually a hunka burn in love.
I didn't know that we had a name. Who's Nick?
They didn't say the name during the episode, but we knew about that, I think, when this broke in like the fall.
Okay. All right. My bad.
Yeah. But no, I mean, honestly, we've been waiting for something to kind of mix it up and something of substance, and it seems like we're finally getting it. So we've drawn our teams out. We've got everybody on each side, and we're ready to roll. Let's get it going.
So we kick things off by going off to Ireland, which Dolores is planning this, fun girls trip. We have Teresa's bachelorette party that we're getting to, that they're throwing for her, that's coming next week. But we pick up the episode with having another conversation about Melissa's mom and being invited to the wedding and how she wasn't invited to the wedding. First of all, I'm tired of talking about Melissa's mom. Like, she should have been invited from the beginning. But Shooter, what are your thoughts? Because I know we didn't have you on last week. Do you think that the mom wedding talk, are you over it at this point?
I don't really know that I'm over it, because this is the first. I guess you could say Teresa kind of addressed it back at Fuda's house, but now she's alone. She doesn't have Louis to jump in and immediately invite someone. We get to hear Teresa's actual thoughts. And I thought that it was interesting. Jen Ayden seems to say stuff that, like, it's true and we understand it and we would say it. Like when she says, like, it was an obligation, like, of course you're invited to this. We all know that's true. But the fact that she said it out loud, that's the problem. So I think we're getting a little bit deeper into the Teresa wedding invites rather than just kind of the base level, which was Melissa's mom, because I feel like that was something that Joe and Melissa could kind of point to and be like, well, you didn't invite, like, this is such disrespect towards our family. But now we're getting to know a little bit more as to, where the psyche of Teresa is. And I think that's where we need to get.
Shooter. Or sorry,
What?
Steele.
Oh, I thought you were coming back at me. I was like, what do you want?
Yeah, what? I'm tired of it. I don't care. It's one of those things that I feel like neither of them actually care about it. I think Melissa's using it just as like ammo. It's such an easy thing for her to throw out there and kind of complain about. But from Teresa's standpoint, her saying, like, had you just told me from day one, like, we would have fixed the problem, which I don't believe that's true either. I think had this been brought to her attention at the wrong time, she would have been saying what she already kind of said, which was that we've had issues in the past. Like, she said that in the past. So now she's kind of backpedaling. But I also don't think Melissa really cares. I think that this is all just more stupid ammo to throw at this stupid situation so that she can keep drumming up drama.
Yeah, I mean, I get the initial, like, I wasn't invited to the wedding. Okay, that was a bit of an offense. I get the initial, my mom wasn't invited to the wedding. My kids aren't in the wedding, but I feel like at this point we're holding on to it and it's really not that necessary. Like, I think the mom has made peace with the fact that she's not going to the wedding. I think she'd prefer to really not go to the wedding, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
no.
so too.
Are you excited for this Ireland trip? I was excited that we finally have a big international trip. Like being in pandemic mode for the past 2 years and going to like San Diego because Jen Shaw can't leave the country, or going to Mexico because we can't do anything, more extravagant just yet. I was excited that we finally got an international trip where we really get to see the castle and the luxury trips that we miss on Housewives.
I think that you said it perfectly. I think that we have gotten away from some of the things that pulled us all to Real Housewives in the beginning, the extravagant trips, the lavish lifestyles, all that stuff. The focus for the past couple of years, at least, has been drama, drama. How can we drum up a storyline? Who's talking shit about who? And it gets tiring after a while. And
Yeah.
we've discussed it before. And it's like those reprieves that we need so desperately just to kind of calm us down. And that's kind of what we're getting here. I was stoked that they're taking a big trip to Ireland. I like that Dolores tried to set the tone and be like, hey, this is a nice place with nice people. Let's not be ourselves. Like, everyone tone it down. Don't be you for like a week. It's not going to work. And immediately at that, like, that's what I think is really funny. To kind of go on like a little side tangent. Just don't bring it up. If you don't want the drama to ensue, like, don't talk about the anytime anyone addresses the drama in any way, shape, or form, even if they're trying to be democratic or helpful with the situation, all you do is incite violence. Like, that immediately after you say, let's be calm, it's not going to be calm. But
Nobody's gonna be calm.
I'm excited about the trip overall. I'm excited that we're out of town, we're overseas. I think it's going to be extravagant, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, being of Irish descent, I know that it's going to be really funny because the Irish they're nice people to an extent, unless you're English, of course, and they're these women that are going over there, they're going to stick out like a sore thumb at these bars. They're going to be walking around like Temple Bar or going to Dublin, and they're going to be hooting and hollering, and all the Irish people are going to be like, "Who the hell are these people? Like, we have no idea what the hell's going on." And I love it. I mean, like, you kind of just amplifying what both of you already said. When we go to different countries, we get to break away from that. And it's super important in Jersey, I feel like, because we get to have that Melissa Teresa time on their own. There's no Joe, there's no Louis. It's just the women kind of hashing this shit out. And we already know, like we said, we already know where the lines are drawn in the sand. And we got to kind of see this all play out. And there's no better way to do that than living together for however long they're going to be there, 5 or 10 days, I think, 5 to 10 days or something. But it is a really long time to be in Ireland for sure, but they're going to be stuck together. So they're going to have to deal with their shit. They're going to have to talk about it. We already start to see Jen, who said, I would never say what Laura told me, and then immediately says it. So like, we already know how this is going to play out. We just need to see it happen. And I think there's no better way to do that than to put them all in the same castle, run by a family that owns the castle over in Ireland, and let them figure it out. And we're going to be able to watch that and have a lot of fun.
I wish there was an actual dungeon just to put people in timeout. Be like, all right,
That would
you're
be
going to
funny.
the dungeon for a while. Oh,
Yeah.
nope, Jen, you're in the dungeon. Oh, Teresa, go to the dungeon. And just like
Yep.
they have to sit there for like an hour.
Do you think that Jen Ayden tipped off the psychic?
Yeah.
I
Absolutely. The whole thing was a sham. Yeah.
It's
It was
endorsed.
Endorsements.
Yeah, and I mean, she confirmed it when they're sitting at the table in Ireland. She's like, I mean, we talked on the phone. I was like, oh, so you told her everything. And she's like, did I say that? Did I say that? I don't know. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you said all of it. You prefaced literally the whole thing, which poor Angie, her name was Angie, right? The
Yeah.
psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah, her business just went straight down because they just outed her for not being a psychic because everything she was allegedly psychicking was all wrong. So,
That's a good
or it
point.
was right, but
That's her, yeah.
she was fed these lines. So, yeah, but at the same time, I think that's hysterical. I think that's a great move to like, I think anybody bringing in a psychic medium should just tell them everything so they air all the shit out at the table. I like that move.
Right? I mean, it definitely makes Housewives a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this issue between Jennifer and her husband, Bill, continue, like, I just feel like Bill's totally checked out of the marriage. We see them kind of talk about it and talk about how he's gonna have to be alone with the kids while she's away, and he just, like, doesn't seem like he's checked into this marriage, where he was kind of like, she's like, "I want you to be more present with the kids," and he's like, "Oh, so I have to take away from my hobbies?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's kind of what you had to do when you got married to me, like, you gave up your personal life to have a family life." And I'm just like, Bill just doesn't seem like he's into her anymore. Like, he's over. He's into the secretary at his office and whoever else.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, with Bill, and we see it all the time. Like, he was just completely nonverbal during the whole therapy session. He's just not engaging at all. Anytime that Jen asks him something direct, he always answers it with sarcasm, or like, he's like, "Oh, you want me to give up golf?" And she's like, "No, I just want you to stop hanging out in the pool house for hours. That's not really that much to ask from your partner. Come in, spend more time with the kids. And I actually like being around you." And you can tell, I feel like case in point is just the end of that conversation. She says, "Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to Ireland, so you're going to have to look after the kids." And he goes, "Your kids are mine." And like, what the fuck, dude? Like, just say yes. Just, you know what? Yeah, I'm okay. I'll stop hanging out in the pool. Like, it's really not that hard. But like you said, I think he's just completely checked out. So there's really nothing there.
He doesn't even golf. He
Major
just
red
goes, "You don't golf."
major red flag, though, that he's like, maybe we'll keep going to therapy. Like, he
He doesn't want to
he
go.
wasn't into therapy, but
No.
like, the fact that I don't know. Do you how long do you expect their marriage to last, or do you think she's gonna stick it out?
I think that she's gonna stick it out for at least the foreseeable future. And I think she's gonna try her absolute best to make it work. You know, to Jen's credit, and she's having a solid season. Like, she's a little unhinged, but she's also dealing with a lot of shit at home. She's pushing the narratives when we're with all the ladies. Like, I really like what she's doing this year, which is a complete 180 from last year. I didn't like her at all last year, but I think she's going to stick it out and just try to force him to give a shit. But the thing is, like, he really does not care. The more and more I hear about this pool house, the more I want to see inside of it. What is this man doing out there for 3, 4, 5 hours? And for him to come home and not even notice that that's a problem is crazy to me. Like, how do you think it's okay that you have like 18 kids and your wife is home with them all day, and you get home from work and you think that a good move is to go straight to you don't even check in with your family, and then you blame golf? And somebody in the comments just said they like Bill and Jen together, and that's poor Jen. Poor Jen, if you think that's like, that marriage is horrible. And I don't think that he cares at all. I don't think he gives a shit. He wants to live his life and have her take care of everything at home. He doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, I think he's very traditional in the sense that he's like, I pay the bills. You have this big house because I pay for it. So in order for me to pay for it, I have to work. And then when I'm not working, I don't want to spend time with my family because I've already given my contribution, which is to provide for my family. He sees himself as a provider rather than a father.
Yeah, I think that if things stay the same and he doesn't cheat again, or at least doesn't get caught cheating again, then I can see Jen sticking it out, because like you just said, like, there is a traditional sense here that they do want to stick it out. And, you know, they've had this whole thing. They built a life together. They built a family. But if he gets caught cheating again, I think that gets Jen out. And I think that's when that's going to be the end of it.
What he needs to realize is that if this shit doesn't work, I don't know what the prenup situation is, but if there isn't one, like, he might think, okay, I provided, I gave you the house, I gave you all this shit, so let me do my thing and you take care of the family. He's going to lose half if he doesn't get it together, and that's probably a lot of money. Yeah. And he got to pay child support for how many kids, and he got to pay alimony, and she ain't going to be cheap. So, Bill, even if this is self-preservation, dude, figure it the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he knows that she's not going to grow. I think he knows she'll stick around. I mean, look at her mom. Look at how long she stayed in her marriage. We saw a lot of that last season where, like, the mom was so unhappy with the dad, and she just, you know, eventually grew to resent him to the point where their relationship had really broken down. And I think Jen is probably headed in that same direction if she doesn't jump on it now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Shooter actually brought that up last week when we were discussing the whole thing. I just forgot what we were talking about. Wow. Just like really like what were we saying?
Marriage and the mom and the dad and
with the mom and the dad. Shooter brought it up. It's crazy the correlations that you're seeing between the two marriages, right? Like we saw a lot of that. Was that last season when Jen's mom was kind of getting more into it and explaining the whole dynamic with her and her father. It's really kind of wild to be experiencing this in real time with Jen and Bill, because it does seem to directly reflect what her parents went through. And I'm curious if she has the wherewithal to recognize that and pull herself out before she's 60 or 70 years old, complaining to her kids about her father.
Yeah.
Before there's a scandal.
Yeah. Oh boy.
We don't need another scandal.
Look,
No,
I can't handle a scandal.
I agree. I think if he doesn't start to check into their marriage, I hope she checks out, and I hope she doesn't stick around and continue to put up with this, because that's the traditional thing to do, because it's only going to show her kids that like this isn't healthy and this is not how we have a relationship or have a family. And I know she's upset about like Margaret being Margaret outing the affair on television, and then now her daughter wants to be, a love therapist. But I think that, maybe that is showing their kids that, there is a better way to have relationships than what their parents have. And hopefully their children won't make those mistakes, even though I don't think that's the lesson that she's trying to set for her kids. I think the lesson is that we're still in love and we can find a way through this. I think the kids are reading it opposite of like, my mom is fighting for something, but my dad's checked out. And I think the older the kids get, the more they're going to read into that. And so I feel like I hope Jen is able to leave Bill and take everything with her, because that's what she deserves, because he ain't giving her anything.
Yeah. And I think that like with her checking out of the relationship, that's just going to give Bill what he wants. Her checking out, she's obviously going to keep managing the kids. She's going to keep managing the house. So she's not going to engage with Bill, and Bill's probably fine with that, because that means that she's off his back until she actually takes that step and separates or divorces or at least threatens it. He's going to continue to do the same shit. We're going to see it over and over again.
Agreed. So then we get to the revelation, right, of Jen finally outing this rumor that Laura has revealed to her. And that's that Margaret's, I believe his assistant or somebody that Margaret knows, saw Melissa in the backseat of a car and she was making out with this guy, Nick. So I have photos of Nick just to give everybody context of who this guy is. So if Melissa did make out with him, I'm not mad at it. This is Nick Barada. He's an actor. And he's a hunk, right? So if Melissa made out with him, I'm not mad at it. Like, he's actually, I think, fun.
I like that it keeps coming back to Steele's face though in the interim. Like, it'll just pop through and it's Nick. It's Nick. Here's Steele, by the way.
Here's Steele.
Now everybody's going to think that Steele hooked up with Melissa.
I don't even put that out in the universe. I can't deal with any of that shit. Shut up. But I mean, here's the thing. Is he an attractive guy? Yeah, sure. But I would be mad at it just because it is cheating. So I mean, it is against Joe Gorga, but I don't wish infidelity on anybody or any marriage. I personally think that there's merit to it. I don't have any ground to stand on. I don't have any evidence or information. It just seems to me like this has some actual weight. I would imagine that you probably know more than we do. I don't know, but that's for sure. It's just you usually do. But I personally
knows more
think
than he's letting
yeah,
on.
Exactly. So I'm sorry to out you right there, but like you probably know more than we do. But I do think that there's something to it. I don't think that she didn't get into some kind of weird situation.
Yeah, I think so. My analysis and my take on it, and I'm pretty sure I'll get dragged for all of this later, but I'm used to it at this point. My thing is, I'm pretty sure, like, listen, Nick is a very attractive guy and Melissa's a very attractive woman, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a natural attraction. Whether or not they fully acted on that, I don't know. I mean, maybe they did kiss, maybe they flirted, maybe something, but I think what I think happened is they were in the backseat of a car and maybe the situation looked suspicious. And whoever saw it, this dude who wanted to, have a little kiki moment and have a gossip, he probably went to Margaret and it's like, oh, I saw them in the backseat, KISSING. And I think he maybe upplayed it a little bit. And then he told Margaret. Margaret shared it with Laura, but I don't think Margaret took much. I don't think Margaret took it seriously. I don't think she actually, even though she repeated this rumor to her friend Laura, I don't believe that Margaret actually believed that Joe or that Melissa would cheat on Joe with this Nick guy. I think again, I think the situation may have looked a little fishy. It may have looked suspicious, but the only person that apparently saw this was this guy that I think works for Margaret. And I think Laura was a bitter friend and is trying to out Margaret and trying to, maybe she thought this would get her on the show. Obviously, it didn't work, even though Melissa said on Watch What Happens Live that this Laura chick auditioned for the show 3 times, still didn't make it on the show. So maybe she thought this would either get her on the show or it was just some sort of personal vendetta against Margaret. And that's why she decided to give this information to Jennifer, who she knows would eventually reveal it on the show. And listen, it didn't take much to get Jennifer to reveal it on the show. She's been teasing it for weeks at this point. And then Danielle's like, just tell me, tell me, tell me. And she's like, boom, okay, here's the rumor. Melissa made out with the dude in the backseat of a car.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good point. But it still goes to the point to say, like, I don't really care what Marge thinks or what her intentions are. I guess, yeah, we care about what her intentions are. I don't care if she thinks it's true or not, though, because Margaret she never goes after truthful facts. She wants to hold on to accusations and dirt and things that might be true. And then she just lets everybody else kind of do their own investigation or speculation or whatever you have. But I think that it just goes to show you that is what Margaret does. She's just going to, whether or not she's actively looking for rumors out there, or people know that she loves rumors. So they go, and Laura comes in, or this guy goes and tells Margaret, like, Margaret, oh yeah, you're the harbinger of all these rumors and stuff that bring death on people. Like, let's just give it to her. So I think that Margaret, like you said, I just don't think that she cares if it's true or not. I think she's still going to use it no matter what.
I think that's a good point, in the sense that on reality TV, in the game, an accusation doesn't have to be true.
Yeah, never.
In order for it to create the waves that it's naturally going to create. And so I think that that's a good point. I think that, Margaret probably, I don't think, but Margaret believed it, and maybe she was keeping it in her back pocket to at some point maybe use against Melissa should she ever be like, hey, word, because all you have to do on a reality show is say, hey, word on the street is I heard this, and then all of a sudden it takes up steam and continues to take on a life of its own.
Yep.
I think that you probably said it perfectly. It would probably be more likely that it was somewhat of a precarious situation that somebody walked in on and was like, ooh, and told Marge, and then it probably grew from there as far as what was actually taking place. Who knows? But that's a pretty good breakdown. It seems like maybe it was a sketchy situation, but not like full on, like, oh, just saw you making out with somebody. And then it kind of like grew legs of its own and started to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, but the point is, it's like, it doesn't need to be true in order for it to. And I think that's where that's where Jennifer and Teresa were, okay with this kind of coming out and being revealed. Thank you, Ebony. And revealing this information on camera and using Danielle as kind of a pawn to kind of get it out there. Because I think Jennifer knows, if I share this with Danielle, I'm technically not the one that outs it to the group, but Danielle wants to know so badly, and she's going to let Danielle run with the rumor.
See, I think Jen set this up intentionally. I think this was her fuck you moment to Marge. Like, oh, you did this to me, I'm going to do this to you, but I'm going to preface it to make me seem like I don't want to, or I'm not the same as you. That's what cracked me up, is like, Jen, you're literally doing what she told you. Like, you've been saying how much this has affected your life and your kid's life and all of these other things, but you just did literally the same exact thing. So she was planning on doing that the whole time. I think she just finally saw a moment where she could get the most out of it, because now they're stuck. They're in Ireland. They're stuck in that castle. They can't go anywhere. She was waiting to drop this bomb for a time that was the most opportune for her storyline, to cause the most shit within the group. Again, Jen's having a solid year. She picked a great time to use this. And I don't think at any point during that conversation with Danielle that she wasn't intending to tell her. I think that she was just waiting for the right moment. She felt it was the right moment, and she dropped the bomb, and then she's going to walk away. To your point, all right, Danielle knows. Let's see if someone pulls it out of her. I'm going to sit in the background, and if I get tapped in, I'll come to my defense. But if I don't get tapped in, my hands are clean.
Yeah.
Are her hands ever clean, though? Because Marge is waiting for anything that Laura said to pop off. And if it does, it's always going to come back on Jennifer. She's not going to go after Teresa immediately. She'll go after Jen. is Jen's a little bit of a weaker link. But you can see that the wheels are moving in Jen's mind when she's talking to Danielle on the tail end of that conversation. She says, so if it does come out, Marge is the one who said it. The reason that we know about this is because of Marge, not because of anybody else. Now, Jen should probably take a step back because we all know that if this comes out, everybody's going to go after Jen, even though it was Marge's rumor that leaked to Jen through Laura. So you got to be a little bit careful. I think she's trying to be careful in Jen's best way. But no matter what, if this comes out, we know it came from Laura, which came from Jen. So it's just going to be a shitstorm.
It is going to be a shitstorm. Guys, if you're watching this, I want to know, let us know, do you believe that this Laura person is credible? Is she a disgruntled, thirsty former friend that just wants to drag Margaret? Or do you think that there is some truth to this Nick and Melissa rumor? Thank you, maintenance chick. Ndub says, why not? Marge is not going to change, and Jen has already been pegged as a tree hugger. Nobody likes her. Marge painted her as a crazy wild girl. Interesting. But then Mary says, Teresa giving Melissa a storyline again. I don't think this is a storyline Melissa wants.
No, but if she was smart, she would play into it a little bit. I'm not saying she would play into it as, oh, I don't know, maybe. But she could take a firm stance. She could get more mad about it. She could put the same energy that she's putting into nonsense Teresa shit, such as her mom not getting invited for the 4th episode in a row, and put more energy into the cheating allegations. I think that she's playing it wrong because she's so stuck on this one show pony kind of thing, or one trick pony, whatever, that she is just missing it entirely. I think that this is a good chance to kind of propel her a little bit and give her at least a little more substance, but she's not going to use it, and she's going to keep doing what she's doing, and it's annoying.
I think Melissa should have brought Nick on the show. Like, that would have been
awesome.
Or if somebody would have brought Nick on the show to actually face the rumors and the accusations, because that's what I don't love about Housewives World too, is we love to talk around the topic without actually getting to the core or the meat of it. And I feel like we can really get into it. Like, bring the guy that, like, if we can't get Laura, we don't want Laura, then bring the guy that saw them make out in the back seat. Bring on Nick. Like, let's do, like, that's how Jennifer could have played this, rather than being like, let me just run this little rumor to Danielle and let Danielle run with the rumor. She should have really leaned into this. And I think it would have made it for a more interesting and juicy season.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think that she has that in her. I don't think Jen is quick enough, and I'm not going to say not smart enough, because that's rude. But
she's not strategic enough.
That's it. She's not strategic enough. I think she gets too excited to have the dirt that she's just waiting to drop it. She's not thinking about, like, some, how Marge might do it, where she would be like, okay, let me get Nick here. I'm going to fly him out tomorrow. He's going to stay at the Hyatt. We're going to get him at 10 a.m. I'm going to drive him to that house at 12. Like, I think that
we need Kristen Doty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We need Kristen Doty on this. She would fly Nick out in 2 seconds.
Yes.
What do you guys think of Teresa not defending Melissa, but being like, I believe it? And then the women, or Jennifer, seeming to think that Teresa didn't have Melissa in the wedding because she was upset that Melissa may have cheated on her brother.
I think that gives Teresa a bit of an out. I don't think that Melissa would have been in the wedding regardless because of their relationship. I don't even want to blame it on Teresa and Joe's. Their relationship is so far gone between the two of them that there's no way that she would have been in the wedding to begin with. This gives her a bit of a fallback. Like, look, I heard this rumor. I was kind of taken back. We weren't in a position where I could bring this up to your face and have you think that I'm, like, actually wanting to discuss it. You would think that I'm throwing it in your face maliciously. So if this were to come up, then Teresa might think about it like, all right, well, maybe I did do that. Maybe I was unconsciously thinking, like, I don't want Melissa at my wedding party because I heard of what she did. It gives her sort of like a scapegoat.
Yeah. I just think for Teresa being so big on loyalty that, and you guys should always blindly have my back, that the fact that Jennifer outed her by saying that Teresa believes the rumor, I think that that's shady.
Super shady. But I think that they're playing the game. I think that this is drama that we're going to want to watch unfold, right? I want to see this one play out. This is new. This is something that we're not necessarily, obviously we had inklings because we heard about this months ago, but for it to actually come to light on TV so we can actually watch this process, like this is something we haven't seen on Jersey in a while. Like, ooh, and also we're so used to in this Bravo sphere for the past like year and a half, 2 years, it's always these dudes getting charged with these crazy allegations of cheating and like doing creepy shit. It's kind of weirdly nice that it's somebody in the group. It's one of these women that like potentially stepped out. So now it's kind of both sides of it, because I was getting tired of the husband shit. Like that was getting really annoying. But to see them go after one of the wives, that's different. So I'm excited for this one.
Yeah.
Well, don't bring Melissa around Giselle Bryant.
No, Jesus. Just leave Giselle at home for everything. If I have to watch her bitch about a Clase Azul bottle again one more time.
Oh my God. I can't believe you've been mustering through Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3.
Well, it's not fun. It's not fun. I had higher hopes and it's not going great.
Yeah.
Spilling the Tea says 3 dudes talking about Housewives. This is hilarious. Love it. Yes, if you guys want to see us talk more about Housewives, you can come out to our live show, Night Out, No Filter Night Out with the Brav Bros, April 27th. It's coming up fast at City Winery in Philly. I am coming to the Brav Bros hometown of Philly. So come on out, hang out with us April 27th. Get your tickets now at nofilterlive.com. That's nofilterlive.com. Get your tickets, guys, and we will see you there. Spilling the Tea also said, Steele, dude is a cutie. Should Melissa cheat with Steele? Melissa,
spell my name right. If you say this Melissa cheat with Steele shit again, I'm going to leave the podcast. My wife is upstairs, and she will have something to say about this as well.
Love. Mary says, if Melissa actually did cheat, fire Teresa and keep Melissa for 5 more seasons. Interesting. The Brav Bros need to come to Los Angeles next.
I agree. We want to get out there.
Yeah.
My brother lives out there too. We have a lot of reasons to go out there. We also have a tennis match at some point with Sutton, so we can go do that too. We're planning. We'll figure out. We got a lot of shit coming up. We got Vegas apparently now. We got Charleston. Like we need to sit down and make more money, Shooter.
It's time. Desiree says, absolutely true. Rumors have swirled around Melissa for a long time. Melissa's absolutely a deflector. Why? Because she wants her dirty laundry. She doesn't want her dirty laundry out there. I mean, we have heard the cheating rumors about Melissa in the past, but do we really think she would cheat on Joe?
That's where I lose it, because I don't think so. I really don't think so.
I can see Joe cheating on Melissa more than I can see Melissa cheating.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see her stepping out. That's been my hardest thing to kind of like get behind this one. Is like I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. And I think Teresa likes that the rumors are swirling because she doesn't like Melissa and she wants to keep pushing that narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, are you guys ready for next week's episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey? Looks like things are heating up now that the rumor's out.
I'm pumped. I just need to see. I want to know. I need evidence. I need the backstory. I need all of the details, all the minutia, so I can kind of come up with my own stance on it. I don't like that they just dropped it and left, because I can't. I need more. I need more. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we're gonna get more. I think the tail end of this trip's gonna be a lot of fun. And didn't we hear? I feel like we heard in the fall that the plane ride home was an absolute nightmare, because weren't they all fighting with each other?
And doesn't Teresa apparently has like a big moment in Ireland? So I'm assuming that comes in like the next 2 weeks.
That
but
should be.
Yeah, I agree with you. Still, we need more than just we heard Laura say this. Because if that's all we're getting about this rumor is Laura said this to us, then like there's no validity to it. And why are we causing a big stir about it? And then there's the big the flapper party that comes in the finale that was also really explosive. So
what's with the flappers this season? There's been 1920s parties, and every
parties,
has Bravo been like, all right, flapper night. There's a mandatory flapper night. Maybe there's like the head of production for the whole network is just a big 1920s guy, and he's just forcing these flapper parties to continue.
Must be. It's got to just be like, because I remember before the 20s, like the 2020s hit, people were like, oh, I'm so excited for the roaring 20s, like 100 years. This is going to be so much fun. We're going to have theme parties. But Bravo just took that and ran. And they're just like, every franchise, we're going to do this.
It's technically still the 20s, so we got to keep doing flapper parties.
God, it's next 7 years.
Did you guys watch Melissa and Watch What Happens Live? I did not see it. I only saw one. of Melissa and Andy, and Melissa was a little shady towards Andy, or she was a little sassy towards him about Laura and how Laura's auditioned for the show 3 times.
Yeah, she did that. She also said that she didn't know that Jen had outed this whole piece of information until she watched that episode, which I don't believe, because that kind of scared me when she said that, because it made me think that it doesn't come out for the rest of the season. Like if she's just seeing this now and she's like, oh yeah, Ireland was maybe my top trip of doing Housewives for the whole time, it makes me think that we're not going to get it in Ireland. We might not get it towards the tail end of the season. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. But when she said that, I got a little scared.
I have a feeling Danielle sits on this until the finale party, and that's why it all blows up, is because it finally comes out, and that would make sense, which to me is just kind of like, again, what's the point of sharing this rumor if we don't have any meat to it?
Yeah.
It would be the first time they've done something like that, though.
I know, but Housewives needs to get back on it. Mary wants to know, Shooter, are you getting a beard? Because the mustache is much preferred.
I always have to keep this is, it's a little longer on the sides, but if I shave it all the way down, it looks real rough. So I always keep a bit of a scruff there.
Yeah, he goes scruffed stash, but we've had a lot of. I'm a big stash fan with Shooter. I think it looks great. I think not everyone can pull off a stash. I think he does. We've had listeners comment multiple times in regards to the stash. Some people have called him Mario.
Yeah.
Or Luigi.
Mario. We got tagged in.
I was going to say that.
Did you see that? Yeah. So on Twitter yesterday, I guess because the Mario movie's been doing so well, they were talking about doing a second Mario movie with Wario and Waluigi. And people were saying, who would you want to play that? And a couple people commented the Brock Bros. So that's kind of
funny. I'm in.
That would be hilarious.
The start of our voice acting career.
Let's do it.
I love it. All right, guys, thank you for joining this week's live. We'll be live again next Wednesday. And until then, you're going to want to go and get your tickets to our No Filter Night Out with the Brav Bros, April 27th at City Winery in Philly. You can get your tickets right now at nofilterlive.com. Steel Shooter, are you guys ready for it?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I keep pushing it to everybody I see. I'm walking up to strangers and telling them about it. I still say it every single week until the show. This is my number one on my bucket list when Shooter and I started the podcast. So I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be an absolute blast.
Yeah, for sure.
It's going to be a blast. We have some special guests that are coming out that we'll be announcing soon. And maybe we should do... I'll when I come to Philly, I'll do a coffee date, and if you guys are available, Steel and Shooter, let's do a giveaway, a coffee date, one-on-one in Philly. You guys know all the hot spots, but maybe we'll take one lucky ticket buyer and a pal out for coffee while we're in Philly.
I like that. Fun. Yeah, go to Rival Bros downtown or something. Yeah, that La Colombe and Fishtown.
La Colombe and Fishtown's probably the best.
You guys probably the easiest one. You guys have to buy your tickets this week in order to be entered to win. If you already got your tickets, you will already be entered to win. But make sure you DM us. Send it to me and to the Brav Bros. That way we don't miss it. Send us a confirmation of your ticket purchase, and you'll be entered to win our coffee date. We'll do a coffee date with you guys.
Coffee with these idiots.
Coffee with these idiots. I love it. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. And we'll be back next week to recap next week's episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. But until then, head over to nofilterlive.com and get your tickets. We'll see you April 27th. All right. Bye, guys.